Hi Cancer, and welcome to your weekly reading. My apologies for the last week. Somehow your Taroscope was misplaced and I just didn't think it was right to do it again because then the messages are not authentic. So hence today I'm going to get a little bit more extensive reading and also going to get a bonus, so wait for that in the end. Also please join in the draw for the reading and just give me your comments. I would like to know what you like in the reading, what you don't like in the reading, not necessarily only mine, but in general, and what kind of things you would like to see in your tarot reading, and I'll see that I can accommodate as many of these requests as I can. So, Cancer, let's see what is in the cards for Cancer for the week of February 1st to the February 8th. February 1st to February 8th. First jumper. February 8th. Cancer, it's too many cards. February 1st. It goes on forever. That means, Cancer, you really kind of like are stubborn this week. Oops. Here we go. Cancer, February 1st to February 8th. There's too many cards. Cancer, February 1st to February 8th. Okay. Since I neglected you last week, I am going to make up to you and read more cards. Plus, we have underlying energy over here. So, wow, what a weird kind of combinations you have, Cancers, here. So, okay, let's start here. As I said before, I actually don't read cards inverted, but I might start to do it soon because sometimes it's really hard to gauge the energy. And the reason why I don't do it is like reading astrological sign is basically reading for a large group of people, every 12th person on the planet. So needless to say, we come from different walks of life, we have different needs, and hence it's really, really hard for me to kind of cover up everybody. So that's why I suggest people to get a personal reading. Valentine's Day is a great time. And I use this in my coaching to actually see how clients react or basically what are their hidden motives and what are basically the things that they don't even know. So basically for Cancer, 9 of C is a wish card. So you can make your wish. This week things will go your way. And I see different things here as well. And basically things will just start to happen, and I'm really, really glad for you, Cancer, because you know you're such an emotional sign and people sometimes like step on you, and this is really not right because you're just trying to give everything to everybody and you don't get much in turn. And like when my kitty comes and visits the reading, that's also a sign that something really good will happen. Do you like Cancers? A lot? Are they going to have a great week? Wow, that was a big yes. And can you please leave the table right now so I can do the reading? Yes, please. I'll have to move you if you don't leave. Now. Down. Down. Please. 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 Oops. Shoot. Hi, Cancer. Sorry about it. Like sometimes my helper gets really so excited about this. This is really amazing, but good news for you. She's known to bring luck to people that I read. So there you go. And I can actually see this luck in your basically cards. So going back to 9 of C, you basically got a wish card. So it's time to make this wish. Before we start the reading, make a wish. Let's give you a moment to pause. Please close your eyes and make this wish. Okay, so let's start with the reading. This is going to be a very important week for you, Cancer, because you do have 3 major arcana. So this is some really big things going on with you. And, the first card that popped out was the floating cat. Because what can be better in life than actually seeing them from different perspective? And this is just like reading upright and reverse cards, kind of like you see the full spectrum, and either things are exaggerated or things are completely reversed. So in this case, how the world looks like, if you're kind of in this position and you're kind of looking at this way, it's kind of like giving you a completely different perspective. It could be so much fun. Unrestrained freedom. So this is something you are going to start looking at. This kind of like really enhances your personality. You kind of like sometimes feel that you're wronged, and it's really good to kind of like spend a few minutes and basically try to see things from the perspective of that person. Sometimes like even a diary and just like writing a letter as if you are that person. And that kind of like gives you deeper understanding, which also gives you deeper understanding in who you are and why you are doing certain things. So this is kind of like that emotional basically expression on how basically to go about it and where to kind of like do it. So this is kind of like fun experience. And this goes with Six of Fire. So here is basically a victory card. Look at this big kind of kitty that has all these gifts brought to him, and all the cats are submitting. So this week you're going to have something where you're going to look very successful, victorious, attractive, and kind of like very, very passionate. Like, I mean, you're going to feel like a leader, and you're going to feel like you're on top of the world. But keep in mind that these moments are really, really good to experience, and we all have to have them in order to kind of keep striving in our life. But these moments are fleeting. So do not kind of like rest on your laurels. Kind of like just keep doing your things that you need to do, because things are lots of work in front of us in this life. The next would be Earth Dome. So this is a little bit of earthy energy, going back to these emotions, like you want to take care of your loved ones, or somebody will take care of you. If you had some kind of disagreements or something, things will be communicated. Maybe they're going to bring you clarity. Maybe the person really wanted to protect you and it didn't appear that way. Maybe you will communicate that to someone else who didn't think you did the really right thing. This can also indicate a younger person under 40, or a person who is older but who appears to be younger, or a younger person who appears to be older and more mature. So it is something is off, and it's a person who is not really quick in decisions, who in fact really think through, and it's kind of very methodical. So this kind of or maybe you are going to develop that part of yourself, because as a Cancer, you're deeply emotional. You really experience things through your emotions, and like, I mean, sometimes you need to ground yourself and see what is important. So any of these options. But you have to beware. You have a demon cat, and we all know how we feel when we get this like kitty brought to us by our like little kind of like furry friends. You have to compliment the kitty, good kitty, good kitty. And I would say, because of this reading, because you actually have nine of C here, and because the follow-up card is basically good kitty, which you do say good kitty to a kitty that does that, what I would say is, like, this week you need to embrace your bad parts. And if you felt that you are maybe in a codependent relationship, or that you're doing something that really is not in your best interest, that things are basically against your will, or that you have to do things because of being caught in the particular situation, this is basically saying to you that maybe it is time, because this card can be reversed, when you're breaking the bondage. This basically means doing something which you really actually don't have to do it, but maybe for some reason you haven't realized that yet. So, but I really want you to this week to acknowledge that you do have bad parts in you. We all do. And kind of like start to look at them from this different perspective, right? And kind of like see how they appear to the other people. Because you know what? Nobody can be perfect. And in fact, I really don't think that perfection would be even appealing. Celebrities are not particularly appealing to me, because I would prefer them to be fallen angels than angels. They even tell you in any seduction book that you need to have layers as a person in order to get ahead. So if you're just a flat personality, if you're just goody two shoes, you're going to end up lost, as they say, because you're simply not interesting. It's just like boiled water is just boiled water, but if you add to the spices and you add to that some kind of things, it becomes a stock, it becomes a soup that you want to actually enjoy. So this is basically telling to you that, you know what, you have to see what is this bad part of you, which actually could be a very appealing part of you, but you have to examine to how bad you really want to be. So, for example, let's say you're a smoker, and you really know smoking is so bad for you, and you really look at it and it's not good for my health. All the rationalization is right here. No, Safi. But you know, you at the same time, you kind of like are in the company, and you, let's say you date musicians, and like this is a normal thing to do. So you basically have to decide which way to go. And are you going to kind of continue doing that and kind of dwelling on it, knowing all the circumstances that will happen, so, or you're not. So all it's saying is here, there is no judgment. There is just basically your own decision, how you deal with your rough parts of yourself and things that you know they're not good for you. The end card is a good kitty, and I love this card. That would be equivalent of the judgment card in the other deck. But it's, you see the people, it's like that's why I've seen it in this card, right? You are going to try to look to your highest level. So I know that you're not going to actually try to keep most of these bad things that you discover in yourself, because for a while you have been kind of like observing others and yourself differently. And you know, here it tells me, look at this kitty is observing herself to kind of like a really gold kind of like dreams, and I can be so great, I can be so dreamy. And she's also here on the round cushion. When you see something round in tarot, it indicates flow. So you see it in a wheel, you see it in a world, and here basically a circle is the perfect geometrical shape. It has the biggest surface compared apples to apples, and basically there are like no rough angles. So here the kitty is like sort of like finally kind of reached its own circle. So you're like centered, you're like into who you need to be, and you are now lifting yourself to the highest possible potential. However, this also means good kitty indicates that it was something that has been happening already. So this is not something that just happens or that will happen. This will be something that has been connected to the past. So given that this came under this card, it's going to be probably a reward for something that you really did really, really well. It could be about you being protective of someone, or, you know, simply just like, I mean, being able to look at things from a different perspective. But in any case, I mean, three major arcanas, and out of these three, like, I mean, no, sorry, two major arcanas. No, three major arcanas. And out of these three, one of them is like what they call higher major arcana. That's almost the last card, which means like you're reaching the highest possible situation here to work on it. Because after that, it's world is completion. It feels like you completed the work, and like right now you're moving on to some next kind of level in your existence. But right now you're really, really enjoying, like you're at this stage, you're the winner. But you know what happens after you become a winner? You have to defend your territory. So the cycle continues. So right now you're at the stage where you're really enjoying, where you're getting the stuff, and you got there in spite of your bad habits. So this is giving you ability, knowing that you got there, not to say, well, I can do whatever I want, because now whatever the wish you made is going to come true. Like, it's also being responsible about it. So Cancer, I really hope that I made up for the last week, and I actually did promise you that you're going to have a little bonus. So what I did, I actually did shuffle. Actually, there is the book of love spells and rituals, and actually did taken the card out, and it's kind of like really interesting that you kind of drew this card. It says astrological influence guidance to set boundaries. So see, you're going to enjoy this win, but like, you know, if you're a king, if you're a CEO, if you're a good friend, you cannot also allow your energy to flow forever, you know. They always have to be some kind of like way of to how far do you go. And maybe this is also part of your process of taking care of your loved ones and looking things from a different perspective here. Because, if things get out of hand, your life will become beset with resentment, blame, and injustice. And so right now you're in a cycle where you're on, you have upper hand. So it's a really, really good time to do it. And this actually also governs, because it's Libra, sector of marriage and relationships. So it could be that because this is passion, fire, this is like emotions, and this will be grounding. Like you kind of like had three corners covered. But it could be that the wish you made was emotional wish. And hence, it will come true, but with the warning that you kind of have to be judgmental of your own self, that you have to kind of give yourself credit for things that are well done, and also to correct things that are not well done. So the question is do you allow the other people also to be nurturing and supportive in your life? And so here you really have to see who are the really good people in your life, right? So because you did have this card as well that is confirming this, and it's also telling you to take a look in the relationships that you have created, And Libra also is a sign that tells you have to stop being an emotional doormat. And maybe this card was basically saying only that you basically have been emotional doormat, and basically you started to resent that, and you were blaming yourself for it. So that's maybe things got out of hand, and that's why this came as a guidance, And so please remember that enlightened soul allows itself to receive as equally as they give. And this is a good guidance in any relationship, kind of don't give everything to your boyfriend and you're just an option. You have to give, but you have to receive as well. And only when flow goes in both ways, then kind of works properly. And you are not there for a lesson, you are there for a long haul. So what I would say is invite the peaceful balancing energy of Libra into your heart, and so you'll be able to put your all your relationships into a better perspective. This also will give you courage to say a gentle and firm no when you want time for yourself. And then hold out your hands and allow the gifts to flow in. So pretty good read. And the next would be your runes. We want to see how this reading glues together. Alright, Cancer, I brought my bag of runes, so let's see. February 8th, Cancer, February 1st to February 8th, Cancer. Okay. I don't know if you can see it. You got the rune of ideas. Okay, so let's see how this really connects to overall situation, because this rune basically tells me that ideas and effort are rewarded as you journey with a special partner. So I think you're really getting the rewards, as basically your reading was saying. In a kind of rune tradition, Eo represents a proud stallions, proud a couple of horses, as you can see them over here, and who work as a team. And this kind of extols the virtues of the rune, and two horses facing each other give this rune that M shape, and this is generally associated with October. Interesting. Libra is also associated with October. And it's kind of really interesting because this is a weekly reading, so it could be something that you're doing and contemplating this week. Maybe it would be good to have a diary entry and kind of see in October what basically happened out of this week. And this is also upright over here. And when it's upright, the El Hwazun is the rune of big ideas, major projects, and exciting adventures. I guess off you go again. And it often indicates travel and kind of shifts to new and fascinating location. and lots of physical and mental stimulation, which we could have seen from your reading here. Symbolically, because this is a representing team of horses, in some cases this rune suggests basically a partnership with someone as strong-willed as yourself, kind of harnessed together and in step with your partner. Like, I mean, great things can be accomplished, and this could be it. Like, you know, it's like good and bad, in good and in bad. So this could be actually, and this is like, I mean, a wish card. So it could be like really something really productive, and I don't know, maybe something is happening toward Valentine's Day for you. Like, let's keep the fingers crossed. So, in fact, you know, like, I mean, when you merge two people can do something greater together. In fact, rather than like what any of them can possibly accomplish alone. So again, with these boundaries, like here, what you have to look is for mutual respect, loyalty, and common goals, because this is also what the rune is basically indicating. So you can also be sure that the bond between the two of you will remain strong, like even if you have to overcome challenges together. So this also rune has a connection with higher education and kind of like encourages you to put an effort. And, you know, especially I think it's connected with research or sciences. And so the pace is going to speed up. Like, your life is going to speed up when this kind of appears. Because, you know, this is a rune of your progress. This is, you know, your circumstances are going to improve dramatically. As we can tell, like, you're going to feel like $1 million this week. And also, this tells you that if you need help, you have to reach out. And also, again, it tells you that you have to set your boundaries and act as the best you are. Well, Cancer, I hope I made up to you for missing you out on you last week. And I'm looking forward to reading for you next week. So all your comments and wishes are more than welcome. So please enter the contest, and I'll see you next week.